Okay, so a recap of last week, just in case anyone forgot. After running off the fierce Null Hogger, having decided to meet back with Seabor's men as you were unable to track Hogger, uh, was able to free a wolf, and that wolf appears to be somewhat of a kindred spirit to her. Once you return to Seabor's men, you found Seabor and four of his men sprinting out of the forest, soon to be followed by the largest spider you guys have ever seen. That spider attempted to entangle one of the men and succeeded, and both Arliel and Monla jumped into action, much to their detriment, as Monla was almost killed in a single shot. Arliel also took some serious damage, and the fourth man of Seabor's group was consumed, taken by the spider. Arliel and Seabor had a little bit of a argument / heated conversation about that whole process. You guys shared a little bit of piece of information with Seabor, indicating that the quote-unquote recruits had been taken to the Furlbro farm, which is up north, and he provided you guys a map of Westfall, and you let him know that you would continue to search out those recruits. After leaving Seabor's group as they were returning home to kind of lick their wounds a little bit, he decided to stop by the Stedman's farm, which had been confiscated by the Alliance. You met with Sergeant Miles, and before properly introducing yourselves, a warlock by the name of Corporal Plata came in. He noticed you, and he fumbled his stack of papers that he was going to give to the sergeant. In grabbing those and putting them back on the desk, it appeared that he was making it possible for you guys to see that you guys were wanted for being AWOL. And he even spoke to Monla in Elvish, telling you guys to get out. You guys initially ignored the warning, spoke with Sergeant Miles just briefly, and then you saw Corporal waited outside, kind of beckoning for you to come talk with him, and he essentially let you know that you guys are not in a safe place with the Alliance right now, and he urged you to leave right away. Get as far away as you could. Again, you ignored his second warning, and he went and spoke with Sergeant Miles again, and found, essentially turning yourselves in to a certain extent, explaining to him the events with Seabor's men and the supplies that had been lost. And he said he would send Corporal Plated to verify what Marshal Stoutmantle wanted to do about the issue. He also said, when you revealed that you had some information on these quote-unquote new recruits, he wanted you guys to go check that out, which of course you did. You found several brigands or members of the Brotherhood at the Furlbro farm. You were able to dispatch them, and several had escaped through an escape hatch, and which Amonla was able to chase one of them down, and you brought him back. You also have a gnome mage that Valdar had killed, but he was still within reach of bringing him back to life for interrogation purposes. And at that point, you decided to start the trek back towards the Sedman's farm, and we're in the middle of that area. And the next step essentially was to potentially decide whether to interrogate these prisoners now, or whether you wanted to take him all the way back to Stedman's farm. One thing I forgot to mention, while you guys were kind of preparing your attack on the farm, Monla did some scouting and had heard that there was going to be some meeting tonight. But he wasn't sure where. He didn't hear where it was going to be at. But apparently it was going to be a big meeting.
Yeah, it was going to be in the mine shaft.
Yeah, I heard something about mine.
Oh, okay. That's accurate. I didn't know. I couldn't remember if that had been revealed or not. So, all right, we turn the time over to you now. So you're probably about 2 hours with carrying these unconscious folk back 2 to 2.5 hours, give or take, to go to back to the Stedman's farm, the Alliance controlled farm. Or again, you'd indicated that potentially you wanted to interrogate these guys before, but what would you like to do?
Isn't there a third option we're not discussing here?
Go find the mine
It
shaft.
probably does more, but which one are you referring to?
Finding the mine shaft.
No, I
could
mean,
probably tie up these unconscious guys pretty successfully.
that's what I'm talking about, the unconscious guys. There's another option besides interrogate and bring them back to base, right?
Eat them? Is that the one you're thinking of?
No, that comes after.
So I'm at a loss then. Besides, I don't want to know how to turn into a human.
I'm pretty sure the paladin wanted to interrogate them.
Well, now that they are helpless and in our custody, I certainly wouldn't want to hurt them in any way. So.
Right, but you were saying you didn't want us to turn them in until you'd had a chance to talk to them first.
No, I think that was someone else's idea, but I like
That was my idea, yeah. So
I approve of it, but it was...
so what are you thinking, Valdir? That is another option that we're not.
Kill them is what he's thinking. But
I
don't
mean,
do that.
I didn't say it, but it's cheaper.
It would be cheaper, but it'd also be very dishonorable.
Drop them down a mine shaft.
And they're too useful.
And if we take him back to the Alliance farm, then it's not our problem at that point. So,
And also,
it doesn't really cost us anything.
And it's also a sign of our loyalty. So I think that it's very important that we return them.
Before we do anything
Alright.
else.
Bring
It's
them to the
I
sergeant.
guess that's reasonable.
All right. So what do you want to do?
How long did you say it would take to get them back?
2 hours. I'm wondering if we should get one of them awake now, though, and question them about the mine shaft.
Let's get closer. Well, maybe you're right, because if the mine shaft's closer to here, then maybe if we want to get there tonight, then maybe we should interrogate them here first.
Right.
Yeah, I don't
Agreed.
think-
Okay. So you have two options. One was the gnome mage, and then the other one was the thief that Monla had chased down. Which one would you like to revive?
So the gnome mage probably doesn't know as much potentially, since
Unless
he was
the one talking about his
since he was a simple guard from outside, whereas the guy inside was probably someone potentially anyway of higher rank within their organization.
Who was the character that you heard that was saying, "I tell you, I saw him. It was him."
It was either the gnome mage or one of his buddies that were sitting outside the front door.
It was one of the buddies who you did not. You guys dispatched him.
Yeah, it was the gnome, like the skeptical one.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. So yeah, maybe the other guy's a better option then.
But the gnome is likely to cooperate.
That's true. I mean, he did give up pretty quick, so
Only
He might
only
be
to
more
be
likely.
burned down by a maniac.
But then his life was saved. So
Saved or brought back?
saved. He was only knocked unconscious.
Okay, essentially you'll need to heal whichever one you want to bring up. I mean, what?
I don't heal things.
That's easy enough. We just need to pick one. Who do you think we should interrogate, Madla?
My vote is the second one, not the mage.
Any disagreements? All right. Well, in the second one, I think we may not have to heal, right? Were you able to just kind of overpower him, or I don't remember how that worked out? Cause
I ran him down and shoot him into unconsciousness.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
was
Yeah,
what
essentially.
happened.
we'll heal him then.
Okay.
Usually on hands and bring him back.
So he kind of shakes and you know as the breath of life comes back into him. I assume you were using a lay on hands. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So just mark that off appropriately. And he kind of looks at you guys standing over him, not sure what to make of this situation. And he just looks. He's not saying anything.
So, what's been going on at the farm here?
Farming?
Farming and crime. It's a good mix.
So your life is in our hands. I'd advise you to just be as honest as you can. The more forthcoming you are with useful information, the more likely you are to see the light of day tomorrow.
Are you saying you're gonna let me go?
That unfortunately isn't up to me.
Okay. I see your diplomacy.
But I can put in a good word if you are helpful.
Who is it up to?
To be honest, I'm not sure.
What do you want to know?
What's going on at the mine tonight? And who's there?
I don't think you... This is probably not a good night for you to be at the mine.
Well, that's
That
why
wasn't
might
the
be
answer
why
to
I
the
want.
question.
That might be why I want to know what's going on, so I can decide that if that's the case or not.
He thinks for a moment. Takes a deep breath. The forces of the Brotherhood are about to grow stronger.
Ah, the recruits.
He looks at Poozer for a moment. No, not the recruit. As you put them.
So stronger in what way then?
There may be a significant alliance that will turn the tides of this conflict that we have with your alliance.
Would you be allying with the Knolls by any chance?
That alliance is already in place. The Knolls have their purpose, but their strength is limited.
So who are you aligning with then?
If the information I have is correct, They'll be meeting with Globtuck.
Who is Globtuck and who does he represent?
He kind of swallows deeply. Globtuck is a two-headed ogre that, unlike your typical ogre, possesses magical powers that I've not seen any ogre possess in the past. And I don't know what armies he's involved with, who he represents. But over the past probably year or so, he's been the steward over the mine.
And where is this mine located at?
He kind of looks around a little bit, trying to figure out where he's actually at.
We're still just at your farm here.
Well, technically, you guys are about a little bit east. As the stars are starting to come in, he goes, from where I think we're at now, it's going to be a couple hours almost due west, maybe a little bit south, just south of the road. It's an old gold mine. There's still gold there, but it's the name of it is the Jangle Lode Mine.
And how many of your leaders are meeting with Globtuck?
That I don't know, but rumor has it that it could be the boss himself.
Anything you want to ask Yakes?
I think that all sounds pretty useful.
I'm wondering if
Assuming it's correct.
the recruits that you scoffed about are actually the kidnapped children and families of others we've met.
Oh, that's a good point. We should ask if he knows anything about that. I forgot.
Okay.
I will just use my sense motive
Yep.
just to determine if I think he's being honest or trying to deceive us.
To the best of your knowledge, he is making no significant amount of deception, or based off what he said so far.
So who are the new recruits you've got coming in then?
He surveys the situation, and he goes, from time to time, we appropriate people. We need people to dig, to do manual labor. The recruits that the most recent recruits, they were here yesterday, but they've been sent south. I'm not exactly sure where. I was not over that or privy to that. All I know is they were sent south.
How many were there?
There was 2 men and 3 children.
Well, that sounds like what we're looking for. How far away is the Stedman farm?
The Stedman farm is gonna, well, depend. You're gonna be slowed if you are taking prisoners, whether they're conscious or unconscious, right? So it would probably be 2.5 to 3 hours, give or take, barring any unforeseen incidents. And then based on the mine, as you remember that you have the map from Seabor. If you were to estimate, you're probably looking maybe 3.5 to 4 hours, assuming you were not taking captives. Captives obviously are going to slow you up.
And what and what's the current time roundabouts?
So you'd arrived at the farm right around dusk, so about 6 o'clock. With the conflict, as well as I believe you guys spent about an hour and a half heading towards back to the Stedman farm. So we're gonna say that's right around 9 o'clock or just before 9 p.m. So it is nighttime. It's no longer dusk.
Well, I guess if we spent that much time heading back to the farm, then we'd be just about back, right?
I mean, it sounds like we'd get back to the Alliance farm around midnight or so.
Well,
you would get back to the Alliance farm a little bit sooner because you already made some way there.
might as well go there and drop these guys off then, and see
Yeah.
what the sergeant thinks we should.
I don't fancy tackling an ogre without all of my spells available. I've got some left, but not the ones I want for fighting an ogre with.
Yeah, I don't think we would want to fight anything in where they're having their main camp anyway, but we might be able to at least see what's going on and just do some scouting.
And again, as a reminder, they said that the meeting was happening tonight. Just make sure that that was not lost. It's also about this time in that you kind of remember from the Furlborough farm. You guys had grabbed a series of papers. One that was in kind of the office, if you will, and then one that was in a chest downstairs. Just
That's right.
Yes, I was going to ask.
Yeah.
I was going to ask what was on those next.
As you look over those papers, some of the papers are, it's almost like receipts, right? As far as deals that were made that don't really seem particularly interesting. You do find one paper that says the Thorn reports that everything is on schedule at the Hill. And that's the only thing it says on that piece of paper.
We could ask him if he knows who the Thorn is. But not me, I have terrible charisma.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yes.
What is that?
The Thorn reports that everything is on schedule at the Hill.
Would there be any kind of knowledge check to know what that might mean? Thorn?
You can try.
What kind of knowledge should we try?
I would think probably local.
Not me then.
I would think dungeoneering.
Or healing.
Or healing, yeah. Apparently healing might be it.
No, healing's not it.
I mean, maybe sense motive to discern secret message, but that's more for intercepting the secret message through bluff. But
Right.
but potentially you could give a high penalty on that or something if someone would try to sense motive and
Yeah.
decide what that meant. But
Yeah, I mean, knowledge local would be your best bet, but
Doesn't sound like any of us have it.
gotcha.
yeah, I don't.
So yeah, even with your good roll there, Arlil, yeah, it seems a little bit too cryptic to really get an idea. And as you ask, you know, the guy that you have awake, he goes, I don't know who that is. And you don't sense a deception from him at that point.
Oh, maybe the sergeant will have a better clue as to what that might mean.
And I will end up I didn't get time to do it, but I'll end up creating you guys a PDF for that, just so you don't forget about it. But I didn't have time to do that, so there's also another paper, and this one seems almost there's two more significant passages which kind of support what he was saying about the recruits. It reads, Hogger reports that there is a group following the recruits. They're trying to track them down. So we need to move them quicker than normal. They will be transported to Moonglow. And then one last and final bit of information throughout the papers. And all it says is, destroy the fire before detonation.
Destroy the fire before detonation.
Correct.
Presumably to prevent detonation from happening?
I think that one's going to require more context. We'll have to see when we get to Moonbrook or whatever.
Was that on a totally separate paper, though?
Yes,
Is it
yes.
related?
No, as far as you can, the only relation that you know of is the fact that they were. You're not sure if that paper was one that was in the chest or in the office. You kind of just grabbed them all without determining one way or the other. And so the thief, he goes, I've told you the truth. Told me I'd be free to go. May I leave?
That's not at all what we said.
Yeah, no one said that. We said we
You're-
didn't know.
We said
You're
we put in a
imagining
good
things.
word for you.
Right.
You were cooperative.
I have
You
been
really were.
100% cooperative.
Agreed, and I will make sure the sergeant is very aware of that.
So that's your plan, to just throw me in jail now and let me rot in there?
That's not my plan at all. My plan is to deliver you to justice and let justice determine what happens next.
And put in a good word for you.
And your cooperation will be taken into account.
You'll excuse me if the word of the Alliance, who would, paladin or not, the Alliance that steals our lands does not pay us for our works, and then is appalled that people would rebel against that.
Well, I have nothing to do with those things, so
You are the Alliance. You represent the Alliance. You have everything to do with
But
that.
which part of this land was yours?
I'm referring to the work that I myself and many of my brethren helped to rebuild Stormwind, and your Alliance turned your back on us, refused to pay us. They started this. And whether I live or die, they will pay for it, one way or the other.
not doing yourself any favors, friend. All right, let's get these people back to the Stedman farm.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you guys are gonna go back to the Stedman farm. What are you taking the gnome with you as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Okay.
hardly weighs anything. I'll carry him.
All right. So it takes a little time, about at your best guess, about maybe 3.5 hours. I'm assuming you stayed off the roads like before.
Yep.
Oh. I had to reload here. I don't know if that kicked you guys out or not. 1 second here. Okay. So you should be at the Stedman farm now. You see that?
Nope. You need to drag the ribbon.
Oh, I thought I did. Did it take you over there now?
Nope.
Okay, hold on. Let me drag the ribbon to a different version and then drive it back. All right. What about now?
Not working for me. Anyone else?
Nope. I can reload and see if
Yeah. Try reload.
I
that
scrolled
changes
way out,
anything.
and I'm back at the house, the farm.
Yeah,
I just had to scroll my map out.
Still at Furborrel.
I've been looking at that the whole time.
There are player tokens on the Furborrel farm. Crovax is why, so you need to drag those onto the ribbon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we went to the other map and back to this.
Or
one,
what if
so-
I just delete them off the Furborrel farm? That'd do the same thing.
The
Again?
tokens, no. I'm dragging all the
Oh,
layer markers over to the ribbon, so
Oh. So did you already do it then?
yep, I just did it.
Okay. All right. So hopefully you guys should be in the inside. You see that, everyone?
Yep.
That's right in the front doorway. I would have come in the window, but each his own.
You try to go in the window, but you see that it's locked.
Dang it.
You see Sergeant Miles there as you guys come around, and he's sitting in his chair. And as you see our Lil coming around, he goes, standing up, looking very irritated. He goes, "What do you have to say for yourself?"
That we cleaned out a bunch of Brotherhood thieves from Furborrel Farm and brought 2 of them back as captives. What did you do while we were gone?
What is different in here since the last time you were here? And then he again
Can
looks
I
at.
do a perception check?
That's you, Valder. There's a hole in the floor.
Well, I was definitely here the last time we were here.
Give me a bluff roll.
I'm not lying.
Give me a bluff roll.
For what, though?
I guess technically you're not lying. He goes, Are you guys responsible for this hole in my floor?"
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Explain yourselves.
Happily. I will explain
You
that
just
there was
have to ask the right questions.
lies and propaganda being propagated about us, and so we destroyed it. Unfortunately, our sorcerer was a little
Overzealous.
overzealous. There we go.
And what propaganda was that?
Notes claiming that we were AWOL, which clearly
We
we
already
aren't.
talked about all that, right?
We already explained all that to you. Yeah.
So let me make sure I have this correct. So you destroyed documents from the Marshal intended for me to prevent me from seeing them.
No. Prevent them from being distributed. We told you already everything.
He thinks for a moment.
I will not allow lies and slander and incorrect,
And after a moment,
things to be spread about me.
after a moment, he whistles very loudly, and within moments, a whole slew of guards come running in.
Oh, hey.
And he goes, "Put down your weapons. You are under arrest. We will wait until the Marshal gets back to us, which hopefully might be the end of late tomorrow, when Corporal Plata gets back. Until that time, you are confined to this farm. And all of these soldiers, being dressed in plate mail, experienced soldiers, they await your response."
To submit to your authority if that's what you really want, but you might want to take into consideration that right now we've been your greatest assets in the war against the Brotherhood.
And we have more information.
We've brought back 2 prisoners, as well as much more useful information as to what is going on with them and the Jangleload mine, and a secret meeting going on there tonight, as well as where some prisoners have been taken. So we would very much like to assist in the, actual duties that Stormwind soldiers are supposed to be providing for their citizens, rather than wasting time in a jail cell. But if papers are more important to you than lives of those you are meant to protect, by all means, arrest us. Oops, I already rolled it.
Yeah, no, you're good. He goes, "What is happening at the Jangleload mine?"
Share all the information that the
and
prisoner gave us.
And I'm going to assume, even though I didn't bring out a token form, I guess I can real fast.
That the 2 prisoners in with us as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll represent him there. And the prisoner that is conscious nods his head, affirming that at least that portion is correct. So what you mean to tell me is you had information of a from what I gather, from what you're telling me, a very important meeting, and you chose not to go get some reconnaissance on it when you had the opportunity.
That's why we're here, is to get your permission to go do reconnaissance.
Well, from what you're telling me, that this meeting was supposed to happen around midnight or so. It's about midnight right now.
We could not have gotten there by midnight. We were most of the way here when we found out.
We will let the Marshal decide. Lay down your weapons. And that's when the guards come in to take you into custody.
So, okay, you can have my axe.
Okay. Any resistance, or do you submit?
I'll submit.
No, I wouldn't resist. No.
Okay. All right. So they take your armaments, essentially strip you down to just your regular clothes. They
Very disappointed in you, Sergeant. Thought you were a king.
Shut your mouth.
Marshals, man.
Shut your mouth.
I will not. I speak for the light, and
He gags you. they bring you in kind of a makeshift. You can see that there's a lot of crates and whatnot. You know, where food was in. There's a couple poles that appear to be quite sturdy. They tie you up quite significantly. And he orders a full guard duty. And then he also brings he takes the gnome mage somewhere, you're not sure where, but he also ties up this thief. And then after that, then he lets you be.
I'll ask this thief if he still wants us to put in a good word for him.
He looks, he goes, yeah, I think I'm probably better off on my own. You guys are not the smartest when dealing with superiors, apparently. Your alliance does things a little bit differently.
Right. Well, I will just go to sleep for the night as best I can.
Yep. Okay. Any other actions before anyone else wanting to go to sleep or whatever?
No,
I got up.
We've got someone here guarding us. It's the safest time for us to all sleep at the same time. We don't have to set our own guard.
That's true. They've got that covered. So being tied, I mean, you don't sleep well, but you know, you do sleep sleep at least a little bit, and as day approaches, it's actually kind of nice because you're in the shade a little bit.
Wait,
but
where's my wolf?
In your pocket.
Oh yeah. He's in my pocket.
Yeah. He's in your he's your pocket wolf. Because they never allowed the animals to be inside.
Inside, yep, that's correct. I knew that.
So, as the morning comes, you're not really sure what time it is, other than there's a light out. They bring you some oatmeal porridge, very very basic meal. And again, the guards every few hours they switch out to new guards. You know that they're all kind of wearing the same type of armor. The day continues to pass on. And until finally you see the sergeant come around the wall there, and he's with Corporal Plated. Corporal Plated still has that little demon following him around. Looks like a little fireball. He goes, "Well, it's been decided. You're being shipped to Sentinel Hill. The Marshal would like to speak with you. May the Lord have mercy on your souls." And so the guards come and they unlock you. They escort you to basically a cart again, and with that with Plated kind of leading the way. They have you tied to a cart that's being drawn by or pulled by some horses.
So you'd probably better throw our weapons in the cart too, because when the Marshal puts us to work, he's going to want us to be armed, I'm sure.
And the sergeant goes, "The hubris that you guys have. You go AWOL. You destroy alliance documents. And you think you're on good terms with the Marshal. You know what? Maybe
unbuild, yeah.
Maybe
Just need to lighten up over these papers, man.
Maybe it's not hubris. Maybe it's just pure stupidity. The Marshal will decide. And so you guys again are tied to the cart. There's some crates in there as well, and plated, followed by eight soldiers who are walking alongside. They start taking you to Sentinel Hill. And plated as he's the one that's kind of driving the cart, driving the horses. He turns it back. He goes, "Did I not warn you guys? Not once, but twice. And now this is out of my hands." And then he turns back, and the day goes slowly, but after several hours, you're guessing maybe it's about 4, maybe 5 o'clock, and you can start seeing the castle or the tower of Sentinel Hill getting closer. Move you there. All right. You guys see that now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me add corporal here. And so as you guys are coming up the road that kind of winds around the tower, you can see all these tents, but they're heavily damaged. Some of the tents have people laying in them. Just past them, there are some buildings, but there's a lot of needed repair on them. They don't look like they've been upkept very well. As you guys are coming around the south side, you can see to the north there's for lack of a better term, like a farm stand, where there's a couple guards over there. There's it looks like there's boxes of fruit or various maybe fish, whatnot, and then they untie you, get you out of the cart, and bring you up to a tall man. He looks like he's in his late 40s. Kind of a stern look on his face. Dressed in plate mail armor, but not only that, but it is like spotless. He's got the golden tabard representing the Alliance, which you quickly surmise that this must be the Marshal. And as the Marshal sees you guys walked up while your hands are still bound, plated leading the way, he goes, "Marshal Stoutmantle, here are the men that are accused of being AWOL." And after a quick salute, plated is dismissed, and he leaves. The Marshal looks down at you, and he goes, "It's always very disappointing when people would betray the Alliance. What do I do with you?" Almost half talking to himself. And then he looks back up at you and he goes, "What do you have to say for yourselves?"
I mean, you lost some papers, but we killed lots of bad guys. It's a good trade.
And do you really think if we betrayed the Alliance, we would have showed up at the sergeant's encampment? Walked in openly?
Give me a diplomacy check, Manla.
Yeah, this isn't going to go well.
That's true. You, from what I've been told, you walked in openly. You didn't have to. But the criminals that I deal with, they've never been accused of being intelligent.
Can we see if my argument carries more weight?
Sure.
Oh, way better.
What bad guys are you referring to specifically?
Help me out here, guys.
Was it the Highwayman or the
Brotherhood.
Brotherhood? Check
Yeah.
the supplies.
So yeah. Well, so is the highwayman with Seabor that confiscated the supplies? But it was the Brotherhood that your last interaction, the previous evening, or what was with.
And several gnolls.
Right, and several gnolls. So he goes, tell me about these highwaymen. How is it that they were able to confiscate the supplies that we sorely need? How is it that a party of 4 is so inept in the simplest of tasks? Explain this to me.
He needs to do a diplomacy check.
We killed so many gnolls before that happened. We were out of
We were
spells.
fighting gnolls and hyenas when they jumped us, and the gnolls fled when they came because there
I
was
was
a large group of them.
I was actually dead already, I think.
I was. No, yeah, you were. And then also as a reminder, since I can't talk right now, they also had way superior numbers.
Oh, you have since been ungagged. The sergeant
okay.
The sergeant was just tired of you. So yeah, feel free to speak or add as you see fit. So you, if the information that Corporal Plated told me, he told me you spent a couple nights, give or take, with these highwaymen. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Against our will. As prisoners, yes.
Oh, so they had you tied up the whole time?
No, but they had taken all
No.
our equipment, so we had no weapons, no way to fight them other than with bare fists.
Okay.
We were
Which
disarmed and
wasn't
under
going to go
guard.
well, so
But according to the information I was given, you said that there was a raid from some gnolls, correct? At their encampment, at the highwayman's encampment. Is that correct?
that is correct.
And so, how is it that the gnolls did not kill you? Did the highwaymen protect you?
They had given us back our weapons a few hours earlier and said we were free to go in the morning, and that's when the gnolls raided.
Captives indeed. So, can you tell me how to get to this encampment of the highwaymen?
We can certainly give you our best estimates, and happy to do so.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be that hard to find.
Well, I was also told that you left with them to search for some captured people. Is that accurate?
Yes, civilians.
Okay.
Including children that the gnolls had taken.
Okay. Well, was it only children?
2 men and 3 children.
2 men and 3 children. I've seen this tactic by the Brotherhood before.
we believe have now been taken to Moonbrook.
Moonbrook. That's an interesting place. So you walked with these highwaymen, armed, out of their encampment. Is that accurate?
Yes, I don't remember how many there were with us. We were still outnumbered, though, at the time.
With full intent to bring you all the information we had on them and their whereabouts.
Which we did.
All right.
Which we have done.
At this time, then, I would like you to give me as much detail as you can, so that we will know how to get to their encampment.
Are you telling me that the sergeant didn't pass that information on to you after we gave it to him? How disappointing.
Incompetence must be punished.
He goes, I could not agree more. Incompetence must and will be punished.
Agreed. It's amazing that we have discovered so much going on in this land and killed so many enemies of the Alliance in such a short amount of time. We captured 2 members of the Brotherhood and discovered a meeting going on, and instead of allowing us to go scout that out, the sergeant had us put in chains. We discovered where
Whoa, wait a minute.
Captive to Moonbrook, and instead of letting us go help them, he put us in chains.
And as you continue to talk, he motions for one of the guards, and that guard comes and gags you.
My diplomacy roll didn't do much, huh?
So correct me if I'm wrong. You had the opportunity to go find out information at the mine, and instead of taking the initiative to go check it out, you missed what this potential alliance that you've told me about, what could have been happening. And he looks at the 3 of you, ignoring Arlil.
We reported to our superiors, which we were trained to do.
And which he'd asked us to do. He said, go check out the other farmstead and then report back here. We considered going on anyway, but we also had the prisoners and didn't want to drag them over to a place where they might reveal our presence if we were scouting around. So we had to do something with prisoners in the meantime as well. And
I see.
Hand them over to sergeants so that he could gather more information from them that they hadn't told us yet. Anything that you might find in the future.
And it's about this time that you see coming from behind the marshal. You see a very attractive young woman. If you were to guess, she's probably in her early 20s. And she comes, and she's dressed in kind of workers' clothes or peasants' clothes, if you'd be, something along those, just a very, very, very common dress. Although you can't help but notice she's got like a necklace that feels very out of place. And on the face of the necklace, it almost appears to be like a dragon or a lizard, maybe even like a crocodile or whatnot. And she's just kind of strolling a little bit, and she goes, "Oh, father, who are your new friends?" And the marshal turns to her and says, "Oh, just some degenerates who went AWOL. I will be dealing with them immediately." And she goes, "Well, maybe they can help you with your thieves problem." And it's right about this time that whether it's the sun kind of shines off that, again, this very unique necklace, kind of not really blinding you, but as almost as if a mirror, when you have the sun shining in your eyes, so you have to kind of close your eyes for a moment, and you see the marshal Going, oh, and he almost goes lost in thought for a moment. He goes, you know what? Maybe you're right, my desert flower. On your way now. And she continues to stroll off and leaves. And he goes, where were we? All right, first and foremost, I want detailed information on the entrance to the highwayman camp. In your
Give what information I can to the best
Okay.
of my ability.
Yeah, and you guys had seen the caves that they kind of covered up on the backside of those. Again, they're really hills, small mountains, really, but really more hills.
Did she just cast a spell on him or something?
No. Oh, I thought you were talking about Poozer.
No,
No, the
Anixia.
necklace.
I'm wondering what Anixia is doing in Sentinel Hill.
You don't know Nixia.
No, Anixia is actually kind of a there's folklores about
Probably a known
Anixia.
name, yeah.
Yeah. So Valen, as you notice that glimmer that came from the sun going off the ambulance, the amulet or the necklace, whatever, however you want to describe it. All you just feel that it was odd. But you're not really sure what to make of it.
Okay.
And so, after you guys give your detailed reports, he motions to one of his lieutenants, and he talks in a hushed tone with the lieutenant. The lieutenant gives him a salute and quickly rushes away out of sight. And the marshal goes, well, there's nothing for you to do tonight. So let's put you in the room and board that I prepared. And it's about this time that the guards come in, and they take you in downstairs in the tower. Essentially it's a makeshift dungeon. And they secure you with metal locks, and one of them as they're leaving looks at you guys and says, "See you in the morning," as he chuckles and leaves. All right, is there anything you guys want to and so? This room, even though I don't have a map for it, it's basically a square room about 30 feet by 30 feet. You guys are tied down in each corner, so you're about roughly 30 feet away from each other. And there is a metal door that the guard locks as he leaves. If there's anything you want to do before morning, we can take care of that now.
What do you guys think?
I don't know. I mean, I could shift into a small animal to get out of these shackles, probably. But that doesn't get me past the doors or anything, so I don't know if there's any real benefit to that.
I got a spell called Open and Close, but pretty sure it only works on unlocked stuff.
Right.
There's acid splash. Could melt some metal.
If we do that, though, then he'll definitely think we're AWOL and won't be as lenient. Not that he's particularly lenient at the moment either, I don't think, but
Yeah, expected better treatment if we're supposed to be his quest helpers now.
yep.
Oh, and by the way, Arville, they did it ungag you after, so you're not currently gagged again.
Everyone's afraid of my voice, apparently.
All right, so as you guys are kind of discussing possible options, again, it is essentially pitch black. Obviously, Poozer and Monler are able to see, and again, there's no windows, no indication that there's potentially a way out.
I
So
will simply encourage my companions to suffer with patience and allow the light to
all right,
guide.
I think I'll just wait
Future.
unless anyone else is doing anything. Yeah.
okay. So eventually, again, you don't know what time it is, but eventually you fall asleep as best you can. It's not a very comfortable sleep at all, and then as far as you can tell, nobody actually truly slept a wink, and that's about the time that the door opens and you see the first hint of light. Again, because you guys did not sleep well at all, you are considered fatigued. And the couple guards they come, they untie you from where, or not untie you, unlock you from where you were locked up. Your hands and your feet are still basically bound for the most part. I mean, you're able to walk a little bit, but they're similar to like you would see a normal prisoner with chains on his feet. You're just not able to run. And he brings you back up to the front where the marshal is. He goes, "Well, you say that you're not deserters, and you say that the information you've given me is accurate. Regardless,
We've cooperated with everything that's been asked of us.
I would ask you to consider our actions even more than our words, considering all that we have done in the short time we've been here."
and he looks at you, Arlil, and he goes, "Oh, you're full of words. That much has been established." And he goes, "Here's what we're gonna do." He takes a ring and he places it on Poozer's hand. And as he places
Commodity engaged.
it, as he places it on your ring finger, it's much too large for your finger, but then it goes to your finger, and it's actually quite snug. So much that
Dwarves do love jewelry.
and he goes, "This ring will help me keep track of you." And you mentioned Moonbrook, so I'm gonna send you on a mission. And if you die, you die. But if you can still be of use to me and the Alliance, then so be it. So I want you to find out whatever information you can in Moonbrook. And report back to me.
Information about what?
Information
Be more
about
specific.
Information about the Brotherhood. About any dealings they are making there. If they are mounting an offensive, as kind of indicated by the meeting that you guys chose not to investigate.
Are these the thieves that you briefly mentioned yesterday?
The Brotherhood? Oh yes, I know the Brotherhood. They have been a thorn in our side for far too long.
A thorn in your side.
And I will extinguish them once and for all for the Alliance. for King Anduin.
Is this a scouting mission only, or do you want us to look for opportunities to remove a few members of their Brotherhood as well?
Primarily scouting, but I understand you will, especially due to your paladin friend. I am sure you will talk yourself into many a combat situation. And so at this time, one of the guards motions over, and two guards bring over kind of a large crate, and they open it up, and there is your equipment. They untie you, and they hand you your armaments, everything that you had. They give back to you. Nothing is missing.
Good to see the sergeant took my advice and wisdom on at least sending our equipment this way, since I suspect we would have need of it.
And he says, you know your way to Moonbrook.
I don't know, do we?
So you have the map that
We have a
Seaborg had
map.
given you, which is just a kind of a hand-drawn map, but so far has been relatively accurate. The distance to be determined, right?
Yep.
I think between the map, the ranger, and our Westfall native here, we should be able to find it.
Yeah, we have a crude map, but if you have additional details, that would certainly be welcome.
May I see the map?
It was with our gear. Wouldn't you have already had access to it?
I don't bother to go through your gear. I have more important things to deal with.
Yeah, this is a map that the highwaymen had shown us.
Ah, yes, your friends. And he looks at it briefly. He goes, well, yeah, that appears to be relatively correct. The roads might be a little bit off it, but nothing too out of the ordinary. So, yeah, if I were you, I would probably stick to the roads. But it's up to you. Roads will be faster as well. I expect to hear back from you within 3 days. If I do not hear back from you, you will have the alliance.
You assume we're taking initiative.
The alliance, you will be an enemy to the alliance once and for all. And then he walks away, and he goes up the stairs, disappearing as he goes upstairs. So what would you guys like to do?
My 4 years of army life were supposed to be over this week. But hey, let's go to Moonbrook.
Or, now that we're on our own and far away from any Alliance soldiers under the sway of the Marshal, perhaps we go straight to Stormwind and report on the situation here, because this is abysmal.
That would be an option.
I think the king would like to know that his lands are being run by a despot and a maniac.
Who's mind controlled by his daughter and
Yeah.
Quest givers in Westfall are very inhospitable. Let's go to Lochmodan.
Well, I think if we're going to report it to Stormwind, though, we probably need some actual evidence, physical or hard evidence of some kind that we can report on. That's my feeling, anyway. So for the moment, we might have to play along with his little game.
Plus, we get XP.
Fine. But I'm keeping a detailed report of this nonsense.
Okay, so what do you decide to do?
Octomonbrook, following the roads.
Okay. All right,
I assume, unless anyone else has other plans.
Moonbrook sounds nice.
all right, and as you guys are getting
I'll
your
definitely
equipment
take my
on, and
wolf out.
what's that? Oh yeah, and that's fine. As you're getting ready and getting ready to go down on the follow the road, when you look over at Moonbrook in that general vicinity, once again you can see that dark, unnatural cloud that you saw before when you were talking with Seabor several days back. And
Right, they had said, Crovax, that it would come and then stay for a while and go away. Has it been here this whole time?
no,
Okay, so we see it again.
correct. You did not see it come in, but yesterday, as not that you thought a whole lot of it at the moment, but there was no resemblance or no indication that it was there. Even though Moonbrook is still quite a few miles away, but it's it's nice and sunny, no clouds in sight, with the exception of that unnatural cloud. So, you guys start down the road, and if you as you see the Y, where it splits into a Y, where one side goes to Duskwood, the other side goes towards Moonbrook. You start going west towards Moonbrook. And after about an hour, again, not a whole lot's happening. In the distance, you can see smaller packs of gnolls, but they're hundreds of yards away. They don't seem to notice you or don't care that you're there. As you're traveling down the road, you can see from what you can tell, there's like someone sitting down, and there's nothing else nearby, and they're about 200 yards away from you, to the west of you, so in the direction that you're going.
So on the road still?
Oh yeah. They're, from best you can tell, they're just sitting aside the road, like in a chair or something, and they they've got some sort of hat apparently to cover from the sun, but they're just sitting there.
So I would just keep walking in the direction I intend to go.
Okay. As you get a little bit closer, 100 yards, they again, you can see that they're moving just like like a normal person would be, but not that you can really tell if they're doing anything. As you get about, go ahead.
We can tell it's not a mannequin.
Yeah. No, it's a living thing, if nothing else. You get to within about 30 yards, and it turns its head to you, and it appears to be like an older lady. And she just looks at you with no expression.
Yeah, I don't think a dwarf would likely grunt out a friendly anything, so I'll just walk past.
Okay. I assume everyone else is following Poozer's lead.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't seem to be in any distress or trouble, so.
And almost at the moment where you're like within 5 to 10 feet of her, he goes, "Travelers, what a coincidence! Would you like some trinkets? I have pretty trinkets."
What kind of trinkets?
Oh, I have
Enjoy
all
the
sorts of
money.
trinkets. Some that
They
are.
didn't take our money, right?
What's that? No. You have all the money that you did not leave in the bank in Stormwind.
Old woman. Man, I mean, no, you are where there are bandits about, perhaps sitting here on the road, side of the road, selling trinkets isn't the safest place.
You know, Sonny, you're probably right. But so far, I've been okay. Now you, my friend, looking at Veldar, what kind of trinkets? We've got shiny trinkets. We've got sparkly trinkets. We got
Magic ones.
Oh, magic! She holds out a box, and the box is closed. She goes, "I will sell you the trinket that's in this box, for 15 gold. But I assure you, it is worth way more than that. It is probably worth more than life itself."
Then why sell it?
Oh, I have no need for it at this time.
You have no need of life?
I am a simple old lady.
We'll attempt to determine how honest she is being here.
Okay.
That looks like a pretty good sense motive.
You don't sense any strict dishonesty from her. You believe there's probably something she's not saying, but she believes what she's told you.
It's not that much. So here's 15.
Certainly not.
I'm gonna open it in front of you. If it blows up on me or something, I'm gonna kill you. You understand?
Oh, Sonny, there's no need to be rash. And as you hand out the
Just his sense of humor. Don't worry.
as you hand her the put the gold in your hand, she quickly snatches it and then she hands you the box. So you just open the box right away, correct?
Yep.
So as you open up the box, you see approximately the size of a baseball, a white sphere that is it's pulsating light, but it doesn't appear to be emitting light out of it. So, for example, if it was pure darkness, it would still pulsate light, but you wouldn't be able to use it to see.
Okay.
Now make sure you take care of that trinket.
What is it?
And she just kind of giggles. Oh, I'm sure you're smart. You'll figure it out. I also have texts of information for 15 more gold.
What do you have for 20 gold?
I have this half-eaten apple, but it's just an apple, and I've eaten half of it.
Well worth 20 gold.
Do you wish to purchase information?
What's the information on? I mean,
So you
you need to be a little more specific. It's a big world. There's a
Well-
lot of stuff to tell us about.
she kind of opens up her light coat, and you can kind of see some what look to be just parchments that are tied down. And she goes, "I have all of these, but I can only sell one at this time." And she giggles to herself again.
Yeah, I don't want to make too much money. Bandits again. Again, though. Any particular subjects that this information details?
She looks at you, and at this time you realize that one of her eyes is looking somewhere else. while one is looking directly at you in the eye, the other eye is kind of doing its own thing. And she goes, "It depends on which one you get."
I have nothing against the visually disabled. Well, yes, I've never met someone so bad at selling things. Yes, that's what I'm trying to ask. What sorts of subjects is the information on?
And she just
I
smiles.
don't care about berries and the lock. I understand you don't want to give me the specific information, but at least give me the subject.
I told you, Sonny. It depends on which one you take. That will determine the subject. It's only 15 gold.
Well, that's out of my price range. I don't have 15 gold on me.
Good point. I should check and see how much I have on me. Well, I did not. Sure. I'm gonna praise it.
You're trying to praise the documents that she has, right?
The half-eaten apple.
Oh, the half-eaten apple. You feel that 20 gold might be a little bit much for a half-eaten apple.
Actually, have a dwarf thing that's supposed to make me better at appraising stuff, right?
I mean, have to look under your additional tab. There might be an ability that gives you like the +2 appraisals or something.
Phelan, can you use spellcraft to try and figure out what magic item he just purchased?
Oh yeah, I was trying to remember how I do that.
Yeah, it's 15 plus
Spellcraft.
spell level of caster.
We pause the game for a moment while we look at our.
You're good. So Valen, as you kind of look at this, to your knowledge, you've never seen a device like this before. You can feel the power in it, though. There's no doubt about it. This is a magical item. As far as its effect, you have no idea.
Okay.
I don't either, apparently.
Oh yeah, +2 to appraise. Yeah,
And only to non-magic gems and metals, so it wouldn't work on the papers either.
Gotcha. And as you guys are trying to decide what to do, she kind of stands up, and she's a little bit hunchback, and she grabs her chair, and he goes, "Last chance. You desire knowledge?"
I want to know what this item is.
Wait, we're still fatigued. We probably should have all just set up camp and taken naps before we left.
Oh, we'll be fine.
Do I have all my spells?
Yeah, since we've been in prison for a couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Crovax had said we hadn't slept well and that we were fatigued, so.
You're only fatigued from the first night up at the Stansonstead, you did sleep. It was just not great sleep, but it was still enough to replenish your spells, and you were not fatigued from that. But at Sentinel Hill is a little bit more harsh and uncomfortable. So
I'm not too worried. I can get rid of our fatigue if needed, but
I don't need knowledge.
and she kind of huffs at you.
I don't need to spend $15 on
The rest of you three.
random knowledge. Who knows what it's about?
What are dollars?
Whatever.
Yeah, she's a
Gold
little bit
pennies.
confused as well. No knowledge?
We no need words.
Okay. And she starts walking the way that you guys came from. Again, kind of like an old woman you would normally see walking, carrying a light chair, and
And lots of trinkets.
You didn't actually see any other trinkets. She didn't show you any other trinkets. So, before too long, she's around the bend and out of sight. All right. So I'm assuming you're gonna continue on, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Moment. All right. Did you guys get moved?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It was very moving.
So this is kind of an like an eagle's eye look, where essentially in this view, every square is roughly 20 feet. So as you get a little bit closer, you can see that there's a handful of different buildings. The road kind of does a roundabout, and there's a large statue in the very middle. You don't see anyone as you're coming close. You don't see anyone, at least at this time. The buildings that are there, appear to be, kind of run down, not really taken care of. To the northwest, there appears to be what you're guessing is a church. But the other buildings, as far as you can tell, no real, you can't tell what they are just by looking at them. As far as what type of building they were, at least at one time. What would you like to do?
Probably not set anything on fire, as someone in the party might have been thinking.
Aw.
Burn it all down. That'll show them. No one expects the Stormwind Inquisition.
Actually, if we just randomly light one of these buildings on fire and then watch where all the thieves come out of, we'll know that that's the main base.
Sorry, just in case I wasn't listening, did you say anything about the dark clouds overhead?
No, and you can tell that you were, even though the sun is out and the sun is going through this cloud, but it overall is darker here. But that cloud is still, again, quite high, being a cloud. But if you listen closely, it almost sounds like there's a buzz or an electricity to it.
I listen closely.
Okay. The other thing that you find interesting is that even though there is a slight breeze going west, the cloud is not moving. It is completely stationary to the best of your ability to determine.
And what time of day is it now?
It is going to be roughly about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
3 o'clock rock.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, I can go scouting again if you guys want.
Yeah, that's probably best.
Or you can just stroll into the middle of town and see what happens.
I think we should avoid combat. Well, fatigued especially. So
Possible, yeah.
So he's burn that house.
Right. Should I go north
However,
or south?
if
you
you're going to
detect
go
evil
sneaking
on the
around,
house-
maybe I should at least remove your fatigue before you do that.
I'm sure if you could detect evil on the house, that the paladin would be okay with burning it.
Well, obviously. If it's an evil house, oh man.
Oh, like the Hell House?
Yeah.
It's no ordinary house.
Burn that sucker down.
All right. Well, I will cast Blend on myself.
Okay.
And then, are you removing my fatigue before I head out here as well?
Yeah, I'd better just in case. So that'll just take a lay on hands from me.
You sound like you're making yourself into a smoothie.
But not a very good one.
I will take my time working my way up towards that tavern, church, whatever that is.
So, as you make your way up there, you can hear muffled voices inside. Unfortunately, there are no windows that you can see. But you did notice that on the south end, as you kind of went past it initially, that there is a door there, and it's slightly ajar.
I will go get close to the door and kind of listen
Okay.
through the slightly ajar door.
So, give me a perception roll. Okay.
I think
So-
we should get a circumstance bonus.
So you can tell that there's several different people talking. You're not really sure how many are in there. You can also hear like what you think is like, you know, small. A bang is not the proper term, but like someone putting down something kind of hard on a table, and it's kind of it's not like a ping, but it's a little bit more. You know, like might be a plate or something, but you can't really tell what is being said.
Can I take a quick peek inside just to try and get a count?
All right, give me just.
Assuming I can look inside without moving the door.
Yeah, so yeah, and so you kind of peek inside, but one moment, and you can see that there's 2 rows of tables with chairs, but you don't see anyone seated at them, but that's because the wall of the L shape is impeding your view. And so the voices are coming from out of your view past the wall where it turns left to make part of the L, the upside down L, I guess really in this case.
Sneak in further.
I'm going to sneak up this way, or at least look up that way, I guess, first, see if there's any windows on this inner side here.
Okay. So as you go around, you can see that there's a door right there, but again, you find actually no windows. That there appears to be one area where there would be a window, but it's all boarded up, and you're not able to see in.
Is that door also ajar, or is that one
No,
closed?
no, that one is closed.
I'll move up to that and put my ear against the door while crouched down low to the ground.
Okay.
See if I can hear any better.
You're able to pick up some words, but as far as the context of the conversation, it's really difficult to understand. Until the moment that you hear the word recruit, but then again, it's still muffled, and so that's the really only significant distinguishable word that you are able to pick up through the door.
All right. I will go back to the door that's ajar then and see if I can slip inside.
Okay. All right. How do I move you, but not everyone else?
Drag my name from the bottom left corner to the new map.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Give me just 1 second. All right, can you see that?
Yep.
So as you go in just a little bit, you're able to see a couple people that they're not looking at you. They're looking towards where that other door would have been that you saw. You can kind of clearly see that they've got some food, and there's a little bit of laughter, but again, it's still difficult to understand, what they're talking about.
I'll creep up along that left wall there.
Give me this one. You said your stealth is 22, right?
Yep.
1 second. Why don't I see my perception?
That's ironic.
Apparently my perception is not very high.
And also, just for reference, distance gives a negative to perceptions for every 10 feet as well for that. So
Okay. Well, I'll just do a base roll and add to it manually. Okay. So as you sneak up, there appears to be a guy kind of at the head of the table. He's kind of leading the discussion, and you can they don't appear to notice you, and and you can hear them talking. He's talking about, so I was there last night, and Globtuck is joining us, and they all kind of raise their glasses and clink their glass together in celebration. And he goes, "The Alliance is never going to know what's going to hit them."
thinking to myself that our informant was wrong about the day if he was only there last night to meet Globtuck. He was a day early.
Okay.
Wait another 30 seconds to a minute, see if anything else comes out.
I mean, there could have been another meeting.
So as you kind of sit and wait, that they're just talking about various things, how much they can't wait to get their revenge on the Alliance for all that's been stolen from them, and finally the plans have been put in place to enact that revenge, and then they're telling each other jokes and talking about some of the things that they want to do once they've regained Westfall, the land of that their ancestors built and that they lived and grown on.
All right, I'll go ahead and slip back out the door.
Okay. Second. All right. Did you get moved?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to head down to this south building here.
Okay. As you head down there, in any place that there would be windows, they're all boarded up. There is a closed door, and from where you're at, you don't hear any sounds coming from inside.
Slip over to this next one.
Okay. As you're moving over there, you can see a couple guys coming out of the building to the far end, and they're walking up across the particular building that you're by. Very similar situation. Again, very rundown. The door, there is a door, but it's locked, and the windows are boarded up. And you see them coming across over to the L-shaped building.
Just watch for a moment. They going inside, they knocking on the door, and then leaving.
Yeah,
what they do.
They go. And one of them knocks on the door. Door opens, and they disappear inside.
All right, head over to the building that they left.
Okay. as you get closer to this building, you can definitely hear commotion inside, and it sounds like a decent amount of commotion. Similar situation though with windows. Where you're at, you don't see a door, but based off of where the other men came out of, you assume it's on the north side. As you kind of sneak up there, you can see that there is a door, but it's closed. And it's about this time that couple men come out of the L-shaped house or L-shaped building, and they're still kind of talking and whatnot. And again, there's quite a bit of distance here. Again, if you figure that every square is about 20 feet.
Right. Too far away to hear at this point.
Yeah. And so far they seem to have not realized that either you're there or that the group is back by the road.
Wait 2-3 minutes, see if they move.
Okay. And they start walking back kind of a reverse route of how they came before.
Just kind of keep an eye on them from around the corner of the building here.
Okay. And you can hear that they knock on the door, and you can hear like the sliding of a large, like a large metal plate or something, and then the door opens up. They go inside, and then there's a closing of the metal. What you think is a metal plate, at least, after the door closes.
Okay. Make way up to this building here.
Okay. As you make your way there, the door is slightly ajar, which is right at the front, right there. Windows, same situation, very consistent.
See if I can get a peek inside or not, assuming I don't hear anyone anyway.
Yeah, no, you're good. So you kind of peek in, you don't hear anything, and you're able to see just from what you believe it is like a either a cabinet or a shelf. You're able to see like a book at the very end, but there is a wall that kind of blocks a portion of your view from where you're looking at.
All right. For this next building then.
Okay. And this next building, this is the one that appears to be a church. As you get closer, you can see that there's a graveyard with some crude headstones. Again, very similar with the windows, but there is a door over on the right side, similar to the last building. And
closed or ajar?
It's closed at this time.
Okay, and I will head over to this last building then.
Okay. As you head over to the last building, you can go around it. It looks like it's all boarded up. Even the door is boarded up, so there's no obvious way in there.
All right, head back to the group.
Okay.
So we've got 7 men inside that first building. They were talking about recruits and talking about the meeting with Glub Tug.
Glub Tug, yeah.
And the southwest building's there were a couple of men that came and left and then came back, and there was more noise inside. So there's probably at least 4 in that building over there.
I have to wonder what Glovtech's getting out of this deal.
Yeah, there is a book in the church that I saw on a shelf. I don't know if it's of any interest, or seems unlikely that it'd contain anything super secret if it's just left in there, but it might be something worth at least taking a look at and grabbing on our way out or something.
Is it something you could get in there and grab without being seen, or?
I don't know if there are any people in there. If there is, it'd be unlikely I could grab it and get back out easily. Which is why I said, if we're going to do anything with the men that are here, we deal with them first, and then can go grab the book afterwards, I think.
What was our specific assignment?
Just to get information. So we have confirmation that the Brotherhood is here. We have some confirmation that they made an alliance with this ogre.
Yep.
We have some numbers of how many people are here. Just, very vague.
Yeah, 7 in the main building here, but an unknown number for sure in the other one. Also, that other one seems to be probably has some sort of fortifications inside or barricades or something. There was some sort of metal shifting around as they open and close the doors. So
we could probably, just keep a watch for a day or so to see what else happens or people come and go. We know they have the recruits here, right? Heard something about that?
They mentioned something about recruits, but I wasn't able to catch anything about where they might have been taken or what they did with them.
It's not a lot of information. Is there anything specific Marshall wanted us to grab? I don't think he said anything.
He just wanted us to get information on the Brotherhood, but a few numbers and that they're here probably isn't really what he's looking for. He probably knows they're here. That's why he sent us here. So
I feel like we'd need a little more than that.
I'd love to find out more about the cloud thing. Like, my knowledge nature cannot make sense of it.
Correct.
Might be ideal if we can take another prisoner back with us to let Marshall do with what he wants to get information out of them too. So
he wasn't very appreciative of that last time. Oh no, I guess that was the other one.
All right, so what would you like to do?
I think we're just hanging out for a couple days to continue watching movement.
Well, we've only got 3 days, and it took us half a day to get here, so.
Oh, that's right.
We can maybe hang out for a day and then decide. Maybe look for an opportunity to get into that place and grab that book.
I think we should get as much as we can in the allotted time.
Go wide all the way around to the backside over by that church.
Look for opportunities. If they send out scouts or small groups anywhere, we could maybe, take them out or subdue them or something. Get some prisoners, or at least thin their numbers a little, without engaging the whole town.
All right, so if you're
have a way to hide ourselves while we're hanging out for that long?
I mean, as far as the terrain, I mean, there's obviously some trees, and the trees are kind of sporadic. Most of this land is wheat, or a lot of at least in this particular area, that the weeds are there, but the wheat is dying or dead. And so, I mean, depending on how far you want to camp or do your reconnaissance outside of town, or if you want to do it inside of town, obviously that's probably going to be a factor, potentially being seen or not.
Here's one point regarding this L-shaped building: is at least one of the people was the one of the people that went to meet Glumtug, so he might actually have more information if we can sort out which one that is. When I was listening, was I able to peek around the corner by chance and see who was saying that at all? Or
it was the guy at the head of the table.
Okay.
So he has a face; he would know who it was if we saw him again.
No, these thieves, they all look like me.
They're all wearing bandanas.
No, these ones are not wearing bandanas.
They're all afraid of COVID. So if we take a prisoner, he would probably be a good one to capture if we can.
Fair enough.
right. So are we slipping around to the far side then, to the church? Camp out on that side then? Is that the plan?
Sure, sounds good to me.
Okay. So I'll just mass move you there, and then you guys can. How close to the church do you want to camp out? I mean, or how far away? Even if it's quote unquote off the map, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean probably a couple 100 yards at least. So there's plenty
Okay.
of trees and stuff between us. So.
yeah, and without too much trouble, you're able to find a spot.
Yeah, as long as we can see the comings and goings of the church to determine if there's people in there or not.
Right. So as
This building, which wasn't the church, but yeah,
Correct.
Watching that building there to see if anyone comes and goes from there.
right.
I'm happy to climb up in a tree and get a view from higher up.
Okay. So as you guys find a secure place to kind of hide behind a group of trees or whatnot, periodically you see men come in and out of this bottom building. Much more rare, you see like one or two guys come into the second building, and they're there for a little bit before leaving. Most of the foot traffic are from the L-shaped building to this bottom corner building, and vice versa.
Any sign of the prisoners?
No. From what you can tell, it's all, all various men in, that have different forms of armor. Some have claws, some are wearing like chainmail, but I mean they're definitely armed, and usually when they'll come over to the L-shaped building, and they might be there for an hour or two, and then they'll come back for the most part to this bottom left corner one, and then after a short time, another group of anywhere between 4 to 8, at your best guess, based off the distance, will come to the L-shaped building again for a couple hours, and that seems to kind of repeat itself. And we'll say at this point it's starting to you've been watching most of the day, and so the sun has started to go down, and so now it is essentially dark for the most part.
It's different groups of men. So do we have a rough count on how many different groups have gone in and done that rotation?
I mean, so if we say that you watch them for, say, about 5 or 6 hours, it's difficult for you to tell if it's actually different groups, just because of the distance that you guys are at to stay hidden, without having to worry about it. But over that 5 or 6 hours, there was probably 24 to 30 individuals. Some of them may have been the same people or not, but you really don't know.
They have indoor plumbing?
When in Rome.
They are all going in, no one coming out.
Well, they were going in and out.
They're going in and out.
Traveling between the two buildings.
Yeah, as their primary foot traffic. Like I mentioned, a couple here and there would come over to this building at 9 o'clock position, and then they would leave and then head on over to the L-shaped building.
So let's rest, I think. Get up relatively early while it's still dark, and sneak into that first building with the book in it and deal with whatever's in there.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
And
All
then
right.
we can either decide to go after the more fortified building or the L-shaped building and capture their leader, hopefully, or one of their leaders after that.
Okay, so you're far enough away that you feel pretty confident that no one's gonna see your encampment. Are you guys doing a watch? And if so, what order?
See, what's our usual watch order?
We declared it once. Does anyone remember?
Yeah, I think it was
Oh, wait. Was I on
you.
the first watch?
Yeah, I think you were first and I was last.
And I was in the middle.
Okay.
Bill Darn, man.
All right. So whoever was first, go ahead and
Oh, wait, I gotta get drunk first. Hold on. I'm just kidding. I'll watch.
it helps.
Dwarves
Trust
are
me.
more perceptive when they're drunk.
Okay. So Poozer, as you're watching, and aided by your night vision, essentially.
And my wolf.
Well, I
He
assume
helps
you're.
me watch. Don't worry.
Well, right. I mean, you can see throughout your watch that it almost looks like dancing lights, but after thinking about it better, you just realize there's people carrying torches, and they're kind of doing the same routine, but you're not able to really tell how many there are, but you can see that there's a couple torches that go again to the L-shaped building, and then after an hour or so, come back. But other than that, nothing of significance happens
Can
on
I
your
see
watch.
anything with the cloud at night?
The cloud is still there, so you haven't seen a change.
Can I still hear it?
At the distance that you guys are at, you're not able to hear that electric sound. Because even when you guys were closer, it was still faint, and it was really almost more that you could feel it more than anything, but your brain kind of took that information and turned it into kind of a buzzing sound, a very soft buzzing sound. And with that said, then your watch ends. Whoever was second, go ahead and roll. Okay. Manla, you
Oh, I report to Mondla what I saw.
sure.
I'm pretty sure they're keeping guard there, and that's the guard that's rotating. It's my personal opinion.
Okay. So Manla, nothing seems to really be happening. In fact, you didn't even notice if there were people going from one building to the other. Maybe it's just due to the late hour. You're unsure.
All right.
And the final watch. And then, obviously, Mala, I assume you report basically nothing really happened during your watch. You let Valen know, as well as what Poozer told you. During Valen's watch, as the sun starts to slowly creep over the what's the word I'm looking for? Horizon. Thank you. So you're able to see a little bit better, and every so often, kind of similar to what Poozer had indicated. Groups of anywhere between 4 to 8 going to that L-shaped building for a little while and then coming back. It's also about this time that you see a lot of smoke to the east of you and a little bit south, and it appears to be coming from the hills of where you were at with Seabor.
All right. So that's the marshal has attacked the highwaymen.
So it would seem. We wanted to get going before dawn, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Probably wake up then.
like half an hour before the sun really starts showing a lot of light.
Okay. All right. So you're able to do that, and then you said you were gonna go into the
building with the book in it. Yeah.
okay. Which was the second one that you saw.
Right. This one here that I'm next to.
Okay. So I'm just going to. I'm gonna assume that you take your time and be careful. On keep a lookout.
Yep.
All right. Did you all get moved?
Yep.
Nope.
Nope. Hold on. Let me manually move.
All right. There we go.
Okay. So as you open, kind of slip through the door there, you can see a little bit better, and as you step in, you can see that there's actually a series of books. The floor is made of rock, but it's of kind of disarray. The floor has kind of been falling apart. Again, very consistent with the area not being well kept. What would you like to do?
So where are the books at?
Oh, they're just barely on the edge around the corner.
So over this way then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see
You see them now?
shelves over there.
Okay. And so as you kind of come around the corner, you can see benches in place, and as you enter, there's no one in there. There's the stairs that kind of go up a little bit, and oddly enough, I mean you can see like a podium up front, and so you're not sure. I mean, you'd almost expect that this could be a church as well.
It could be a hymn book with beautiful songs. Let's go check.
For giants, look how big these benches are.
And how
10,
big the
20,
books are.
30, 40 feet across and 10 feet high.
All right. So for anyone who wants to look at the books, give me okay. There's a perception roll from Poozer.
These are definitely books.
But let me ask you this:
I'm not so sure they're books.
how much time do you want to spend going through these various books?
Well, I would start by looking at the spines to see what kind of theme, do they have anything written on them, or the cover pages, to get an overview.
Okay.
But then to see which ones sound like they'd be interested in, and then leaf through them like you do at any library.
Okay. All right. And while you're doing that, Arlil goes and checks out the podium. The podium seems very normal. The wood is starting to rot a little bit.
Arlil gives a speech. I ignore him.
Yeah. Someone grab a gag.
And is there any dust on the bookshelves, or does it look like all the books have been used? Or does it look like? Can I pick out? Oh, these books have been moved or looked at recently.
So you can tell that there is dust there, but it's definitely hasn't been, maybe not moved within the last few days, but definitely like within the last couple weeks. And as Poozer's, looking at, kind of the titles of the books, there's books talking about the history of Westfall. There's books that are talking about, how to build stuff with stone really good. Carpentry
I know
books.
all about building stuff with stone.
Really good.
Really good. And Poozer, as you pick up one of the books, a small paper falls to the ground.
That's exactly what I was looking for. Okay, I pick it up.
And it says on it, the effect of death slows the body. Take it a moment away. I'll read that again.
Yes, please.
The effect of death slows the body. Take a moment away. And then Monla also, as he's going through the books, he finds that kind of a similar thing where a piece of paper slips out. It's kind of a ripped half sheet of paper, and it reads, "Blood is the gift of life. For it giveth to all my friends."
So rather than reading through books, I just want to grab books by the covers and kind of shake them to see if papers fall out.
Okay.
Quick way to search through them.
All right.
And I would like you to type the message that you told me because I can't tell what you're saying.
Oh, okay. Give me 1 second. I will copy and paste it. And again, I will end up making a PDF for you. Okay, there's the first one. There's the one that you read. And then the second one, which... And as Monla kind of shakes the rest of the books, that due to their age, some of the books, some of the papers come out, and as you look at them, there's nothing of interest.
All right.
Weird.
Yeah.
Does the paper that came out seem
Put
like it?
those 2 notes in my backpack at least.
Okay. Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. Are those notes? Do they look like they originated from those books? Same kind of
No.
paper? They just
No.
happened to fall. Okay, they've obviously been added in.
Correct.
Do they have anything to do with the subjects of the books, or just random?
It, to the best of your ability, it appears to be random. Again, most of these books are about the history of Westfall, and then almost a do it yourself. Here's how you make work with wood, work with stone, work with metal.
I'll take those 2 specific books anyway that they came out of, just in case there's something else in there that we just aren't smart enough to see.
Sure. And Arlil is kind of watching the door, and you can see another group that similar to what you guys seen before. There's about 7 of them that come out of the building in the bottom left and go over to the L-shaped building, and they leave from sight as they close the door behind them.
They always stay for about 4 hours, right?
It varies. It might be an hour, might be hour and a half, maybe 45 minutes. It's usually a little while.
That's not really long enough to be on guard for, though.
Right.
I thought you said it sounded like 4-hour shifts, but no, not that long at all.
No, yeah.
Probably what we need to do is go sneak over to that barricaded building and listen for their secret knock to know what the knock is to get in.
They just knock.
Well, when they come back, I mean. See if they've got a secret knock or a secret code to get through the door.
Or we
get
jump
whoever's
them
on the inside to open it.
We jump them stealthily. Yeah, after we find out the secret knock, then we jump them and we get their clothes and we pretend to be them.
Okay, so you're going outside then?
Oh, I was going to ask you, was there anything interesting about the proximity of the books that both had the notes in them?
Not that you can tell. To your best estimation, they were put in random books.
And so the 2 books, the one I found and the one Monla found, weren't specifically by each other or far from each other or any.
No, I mean, one was near the bottom end, bottom left corner near the end. The other one was kind of in the middle, kind of where you're standing now. Okay.
So if we wanted to try and do anything else right after they change places, seems like a good time.
Yeah, Valder and Higgs. Any opinions?
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Oh, makes sense.
Okay, so let me take you back outside here. Okay, you should be moved now.
Does everyone come to the south building here then?
I only see Mongo. Oh, I have to scroll up further. Haha, just kidding. I see everybody.
Okay. And as you get closer again, you can hear that, you know, you don't have an idea what's going on there, but there appears to be a lot of commotion. You know, like not like banging on the doors, but like stuff being dropped on the floor, or you know, kind of, you know, not really taking care of it, so to speak. And
But we haven't seen anyone bring in or out any kinds of supplies,
no,
tools,
not since you,
weapons.
yeah, not since you have been watching them, and you happen to look over over where C4's camp is, and the whole hillside is ablaze, and it's starting to creep over on the side where you can literally see the fire. I mean, it's still a ways away from you, of course.
Why do I get the
Those
sense that our
torches?
incompetent marshal just set the mountains on fire to deal with them instead of
Going in and
more-
rounding up and
Yes.
taking those responsible prisoner and letting civilians go free?
Yes.
And
If it works, I think fire is pretty effective.
that's right. So, and
But it's also very liberal in its targets.
so as you guys are kind of discussing this quietly, of course, you notice that the group is, and I'm only showing one token, but it's looks like about 7 guys, and they're starting to head back.
All right. Do we deal with these 7? Do we let them go inside and wait for the next group to leave? What's the thoughts?
Follow them in and kill them inside.
Well, if we follow them in, then there might be 9 or 12 or 15. So
All right, different building.
All right, and
Maybe let's back up to the trees.
yeah, go ahead
I'm
and move as
I'm
you
gonna
see
stay
fit.
just behind the building here, just see if I can listen, see if they do any special knock or anything.
Okay. All right. So you know, again, you can hear the, you know, the loud solid knock, and you can hear words, but what languages do you speak?
Elvish and Common.
Okay. There is some conversation, but you have no idea what they're saying. And then you hear the doors slide open. The men all go in, close the door, and again you hear the clank of the metal.
Do the men talk at all when they're walking between buildings?
You assume so, but
conversation?
you assume so. I mean, you can kind of see them. You know how some people, when they're walking, they'll talk with their hands, but you've never really been close enough to try to discern that, right? Because you guys have been, you know, several hundred yards away, really, to observe them safely.
Right.
All right. Well, they've got some kind of code word, but it's in a language I don't know. So
Could you tell what language it was? Could he tell what language it was?
I mean, you can go linguistics rule. Yeah, your knowledge, you're really not sure. And maybe it's because, you know, you're on the other side of the house, and so that kind of impeded you a little bit. But obviously, that's how you had to be safe.
Oh, what if we got on top of the house? No one looks up there.
don't really trust myself to be able to do that stealthily, but if you feel confident, go for it.
I like your chances.
Well,
Ble-
the house that has all the ruckus going on in it, they wouldn't hear anything, but that's not the one we need, right?
This is the one that has all the ruckus going on inside
Yeah.
of it.
Oh yeah, they're not even going to notice if someone climbs on the roof. They're paying no attention at all.
Maybe.
Well, like I said, go for it.
Though-
I'm not
if
trying
you
to
climb up there and make
dissuade
some
you, I'm just not
noise
going to do it
and they open the
myself.
door, we can attack them from the doorway. So
All right, I'm climbing up.
Okay. Give me a climb roll.
I'm going to instruct
her a
you on a
boost.
stealth roll first. And I instruct the wolf to hang out in the bushes.
That's fine. Yeah, it listens to you perfectly. Amala, you said you were going to aid her, correct?
yeah, I'll give her a boost.
Okay.
Not a very good one.
Not a very good one, but
no help whatsoever.
but fortunately, you know, with her experience in the outdoors, she's climbed a tree or two in her time, and she's able to get on top. But as you get on top, the roof definitely creaks as you walk, as you put pressure.
All right, well, I don't have to walk. I can kind of shimmy, but I want to get over the... I shouldn't have to go too far because I just climbed up right at the corner. I want to go over I don't know if there's some kind of a covered patio type area, but just so I can hear and see what's going on down below. I mean, in the entryway, not inside the building.
Okay, and as you're getting into position, you can hear the slide of the metal bar, or and the door coming open. You can see several people coming out, and they appear to be looking around.
Maybe I should have had my wolf run past and then keep running, and they just think, oh, look, there's a wolf. But I can't do that telepathically now, right?
No. I mean, you can signal it because the wolf can see you where you're at.
And it would know perfectly what I wanted.
Maybe. I mean, we would have you do a handle animal roll for that.
Instead, it just runs right to me and starts yipping up to me.
Right.
No, I'm just gonna kind of hide here in the dark. Like
Okay.
I said, they're not looking up.
And so you can see that they're kind of spreading out.
Now I'll signal the wolf.
All right. And what do you have the wolf do?
I was just gonna have him kind of run. I want him to.
Oh, so you having him take off essentially. Is that right?
Distraction.
Okay. So as the wolf well
You want me to do the handle?
yeah give me yeah.
Okay, let's
See if he understands your command.
Something here to do with animals.
Handle animal.
He understands me perfectly, as far as I know.
And so as your wolf kind of hits here and sees these guys, the wolf kind of looks up at you and these guys also realize you're there. Let's roll for initiative. Bring it up. Okay. Everyone go ahead and roll for initiative.
They must not be scared of wolves. Good boys, why? Oh wait, I probably have to select him before I do that.
I need to bring out all their characters as well.
I put him back in my pocket before they notice me. That'd probably work.
They're looking up at the same time, so they
I know.
definitely notice you.
I did wait for them to spread out somewhat, so they couldn't have all seen me. Because you said they started to kind of spread out and look around.
Well, right. So the ones that are going to see you are going to be essentially right here because they kind of see the wolf, and the wolf looking up at you, and so they kind of just follow the eyes.
Sure. Just that I had waited. That's perfect. The ones that were close.
All right, let me just make sure I've got all of them. I mean, that person with cloth.
A man of the cloth? It's a priest?
That's right. 2, 3, 4.
Fortunately, in WoW,
5.
that makes him no less dangerous.
I'm thinking I'm missing one, but we'll figure that out as we do it. Okay.
At least he's not wearing a blue dress.
That's right. Feels wrong to force a man with such power to wear a blue dress. All right, so Poozer, your pet has 1 initiative. What would you like to do?
Right?
Probably make it become a pet.
So are some of them looking at him and some are looking at me, or they're what?
Well, they see the wolf, but you know, basically, as in an instant, the wolf is looking up at you, kind of confused by what you wanted the wolf to do, and so they kind of follow that and see that you're there as well. And
Yeah, those two over there.
Yep. And they start yelling and say, you know, there's someone on the roof, and it's also about this time that from this other side they say I can see him behind the barn or behind the building.
So I'm gonna he's gonna howl. No, I don't howl too loudly because there's people in the other buildings too. I can just decide what I have the wolf do at this point since we're in combat.
Yes.
I don't have to try and roleplay it.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah.
Okay. He's just gonna back let's say 5-foot step to there.
Yep.
And then prepare an action to charge one when it's kind of singled out.
Okay.
I'm going to look for the weak and sick and old ones, single them out.
All right. So you're just preparing, you're delaying your action essentially, right?
Yeah, delaying because I don't want to get in where I can get flanked or there's too many people.
It makes sense to me. Okay. All right. So this rogue who sees you, who also looks up, he pulls out his bow, get this way so I can do it easily here.
He's gonna have a hard time hitting me if I'm laying on my stomach.
Oh, were you laying down?
Yeah, remember I went down on my stomach
okay.
and then I was shimmying so that I wouldn't make the creaky
Okay,
noises.
no, you're good then. He's still gonna pull out his bow, but instead then he will shoot at the wolf.
That's fair.
Uh, 24, I assume hits.
Yeah, I mean, you got a natural 20, so that's not automatic hit.
Oh, right. Did not crit. The arrow sticks directly in its right shoulder for 6 damage. And that will make it Poozer's turn.
I'll take up Zwei's turn. Oh, no, it's my turn now. Oh,
Yeah, it's your turn. Because Y was first.
What I thought you said that will take up Poozer's turn, and I'm like, that doesn't take up my turn.
No, I was just saying it is your turn now.
It makes it my turn.
Yep.
That's cool. I love having turns. All right. Well, here I am laying on my stomach. I'm gonna go ahead and can I stand up and draw my bow at the same time? What does that take?
That would be 2 actions: one to stand up and one to get your bow out.
And are they pitched roofs like it looks like on here, or are they flat roofs?
They're mostly flat, but I mean there's a little bit of a pitch. I mean you can see everyone that you can see, which should, I believe, be everyone.
Yeah, I'm just thinking I want to be. I'm going to stand up and get my bow and arrow ready.
Okay, so that's your turn. Correct?
Yes.
All right. This guy comes around, and he will take.
Oh, look, he's all by himself. That's perfect. So I will charge him.
Charge him from the wolf.
Yeah, because
he delayed his or prepared his action, whatever. All right, go ahead and make your attack. So the wolf comes charging, but the man who has chain armor kind of sticks his arm out, and it bites the chainmail, but is unable to penetrate, kind of knocking him off course a little bit. All right, he will go ahead and he's gonna still attack Monla here.
And that will be enough to hit.
13. So he's able to. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well, are you flat-footed? Because everyone was able to roll initiative.
You're flat-footed until you act in combat.
Okay. All right. So yeah, he comes around and kind of surprises you, and he's able to slash you across your chest for 8 damage. This next is this gnome. He's gonna take a 5-foot step, and he conjures a spell, and you can see just the Boozer can tell real quickly or just briefly. It's like some sort of barrier is surrounding him, and then
raspberries?
What's that?
Are they raspberries or strawberries?
Unable to tell the flavor. You'll have to get closer. And this the other mage does a very similar thing. 5-foot step, and again a very almost an invisible barrier, kind of like a light blue that blends with the sky. All right, Monla.
I will take a 5-foot step and cast Bark Skin on myself.
Okay.
And that is my turn.
So you back up, and your skin turns to a hard oak color. Arville.
All right. Well, great situation. I think I'll just 5 foot here and go to total defense.
Okay. You step forward and assume your defensive stance. All right. Oops. This guy right here, he feels that he's got a decent shot at Valdar, and he will tend to shoot him with his bow. Is a 20 hit?
Yep.
Okay. Why did it not do damage? Hold on. Probably because I didn't put in... Oh, no, I put in damage. That's weird. Roll manually. And despite being in cover a little bit from the shrubs and trees, be able to hit you in the thigh for 6 damage. All right. 1, 3. Guy will come across and will also attack Monla here. $23. Is that hit?
7 more damage, yep.
So you kind of backed away, only to have this other guy come from behind you, and you notice that he's there, but you're too slow to react, and he slashes your side. Valdar.
I'll cast Burning Arc.
Burning Arc. Okay.
Which will hit this guy as the primary.
Okay.
And then this one as secondary.
So is it kind of like a chain lightning for fire, essentially?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So they each get a reflex the DC of 17, correct?
Yep.
All right. So the first person fails it, and the second one. All right. So the first person takes 9 damage, right?
No, 20.
Oh, 20
Second
damage.
Second one would be 9 halved, so 4.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So as the flame consumes him, he is heavily burned and scarred. It bounces over to the other fighter, and he takes some damage. But the primary target is not in very good shape at all. All right, Poozer's pet. Why?
Okay. Let's see. If I want to get into a flanking position, I would take an attack of opportunity, or I guess I could skirt around.
No, you're either going to 5-foot step or you're going to take an attack of opportunity moving.
Well,
So
that's right, because I was already next to him.
Yep.
Well, I will 5-foot step, which
Okay.
won't flank, but then I'll still attack.
Okay.
Yeah, I will.
All right. Zwei again attempts to snap it at the fighter, but he's able to knock it away easily with his shield. Okay. Now this rogue, seeing that you're fully no longer prone, he's going to go ahead and take a pot shot at you.
Yeah, he's just a rogue.
I assume 11 misses.
Yes.
So yeah,
But not by a whole lot.
So, his arrow goes wide, landing deep into the small forest behind you guys. All right, Poozer, it is your turn.
All right. I know that guy has a shield, but I'm going to shoot at him anyway. Let's see, which clothy do I want? That one over there.
Okay. So as your arrow looks to be aimed true, but then it meets that shield and is easily deflected for no noticeable damage. All right. Okay. This guy who is incredibly burned. Give me 1 second. All right, he is going to attack the wolf. Does a 16 hit?
The wolf has an AC. Wait, I think his AC go. 15, so 16 does hit.
All right. So despite his injuries, he's able to get a good slashing strike on the wolf for 7 damage. All right. The mage, the one that was not targeted. Second. So Poozer, you see as the mage starts conjuring some spell and it appears as if there's fire that's just showing up out of nowhere, and then it appears to be in a shape of some sort of bird. You're only able to tell the bird looks like a phoenix, and then you can kind of hear it scream as it comes and slams into you. Second. I'd set this up. I'm gonna have to add my own bonuses to it. And you take 7 damage of fire. But you're not able to ascertain what type of spell, other than, again, it looked like it was like a phoenix coming in and slamming into you. All right. This other mage, he will. He puts his hands together, and you can see ice kind of surrounding his hands, and then he throws a ball of ice at you. And as it's going to hit Arlil as well as the pet here. We'll do Arlil first. Arlil, you take 4 cold damage.
I encourage Arlil to taunt.
And 4 damage to the pet. Also, you notice that you are slowed. So for the time being, your speed is cut in half. Molly, your turn.
All right, I will use my scythe on this guy in front of me, and then step back when I miss.
When you said 4 damage to the pet, did you mean my wolf?
Yes. This is why.
All right, pet's close enough, I guess.
All right, yeah. So you swing a little bit,
unconscious,
a little bit wildly as your wounds are maybe more severe than you had hoped. You step back, and we go to Arlil.
There's 4 healing for the wolf if that keeps him from going unconscious at all.
That does indeed. Thank you.
Okay. So that electrify.
I'm back up to another one.
That electrified. You did that as just immediate action, right?
Yep.
Okay. It slams into the wolf, healing it for a few points. And were you done?
No.
Okay.
That wasn't my turn. I'm gonna. Yeah, better fight foot here. And then that'll be my turn.
Okay. Still in defensive stance, right?
Yep.
All right. This this rogue is gonna turn to Poozer and see if he can hit him with his bow. $19?
For me,
Yes.
yes, 19 is exactly correct.
Okay. So you're able to notice at the last second that this other rogue is aiming at you, and while he does hit you, it just kind of more of a flush wound, kind of skimming your arm for 1 point of damage. And then we have the fighter. This fighter is gonna see if he can hit Arlil. He swings with all his might, but Arlil's able to cause it to be a glancing blow with no effect. Okay, Valdar.
I'll use a Chaos Bolt.
Okay.
And that's Archer over there.
Okay. All right, D17 to beat. All right, so the Chaos Bolt flying past the wolf and the fighter slams into the rogue, but he only suffers just minor damage from what you can tell. All right, that brings us back to Zwei,
Who is not dead.
who is not dead.
Alright, 5 foot step to there. Still don't get to flank, sadly.
All right. The wolf bites in vain, snapping at the fighter, but the chainmail is too much for him to penetrate. All right, this rogue will again continue to shoot his bow at Poozer. 21 should hit, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. He's able to get a good shot, hitting you in your side, doing 7 piercing damage. And Poozer, is now your turn to react.
I think that rogue needs me to shoot at him instead. Because.
Okay. And just to clarify, it was the same rogue that you had just that just shot at you, correct? Right there.
Correct, one that was shooting at me.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. With strict determination and a little bit of annoyance that he's able to hit you, you plug him right in the chest for 7 damage. But that is his first wounds. All right, this fighter's gonna take a swing at the wolf. Not liking the idea that he might get flanked.
Hey, Crovax,
Yes.
I forgot I had my 3 power points. I'm going to burn those to do some healing to Zwei as well.
Okay, sure. Okay, go ahead and do that. And probably a good thing because he is the fighter, despite almost being dead from the fire that he took earlier. He's able to slash the wolf for 10 damage.
And the wolf is unconscious.
And the wolf yips and falls temporarily unconscious.
Try this again. 6 healing for the wolf.
The wolf is not unconscious.
Only to be brought alive again. Yakes does take a point of damage for the immediate triage there. And so the mage that hit you with that fiery phoenix, this time he snaps his hands together and points to you, and this just large blast of flame comes and smacks into you.
Why do I have an aggro? I have done practically no damage.
Because he's the one you're the one he can see.
Dang it.
Where did I put that? And you suffer 5 damage of fire via fire. All right, and then the other mage, as his orb, let's see, moves. Well, I need to move. Go. All right, so Arlil will take 2 points of frost damage, and Monla will take 5 points of frost damage.
How's your health looking, Mondla?
Down to 14.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
And then the mage kind of makes like a triangle symbol with his hands, and there's a large spike of ice, and he throws it at you, referring to Arlil, and it splits up, and hits both you and Malna. Give me 1 second here. Arlo, you take 4 points of frost damage, and Malna takes one point of frost damage. And again,
Does he
Arlo,
happen to do any kind of touch attacks or ranged touch attacks, or is there any saves or anything for these ice spells?
no, not for the ice spells.
Or the fire.
That second fire spell there was no save for, but the first one there was.
Oh, I didn't roll. What was I supposed to roll?
Give me a reflex save. All right, let's scroll back up just to, yeah, I think you beat that. Yeah, you did. It was near the beginning of combat. So gain 3 hit points back. You had taken 6 damage. So
from the Phoenix?
yeah, from that Phoenix, that fiery Phoenix.
Oh.
Okay. And again, Manla and Arlil at this point, your movement is reduced by half. Okay, Manla, your move.
I'm going to 5-foot step again and cast Cure Light Wounds on myself.
Okay. So you're staying within the range of that frost orb.
I guess I could step that way, but Valdir, you'll probably want to move on your turn. So we're all not clumped together. So I heal myself for 6.
Okay. All right. You heal 6 much needed life. Arlil.
I'll just be sitting here doing defense still.
Defense, okay.
So lay on hands myself.
Okay.
You should flank with a wolf.
Please.
Yeah, I guess I could do that. That's a good idea. Wait, can I 5-foot step when slowed though?
You should be able to.
Okay.
I'll allow it. I think that's reasonable.
It's a very slow 5-foot step.
The only time you can't 5-foot step when slowed is if you're slowed to 5 feet of movement around, and then it's your full move action to move 5 feet instead.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So you 5-foot step and you heal yourself. Lay on hands. Does that require a concentration check or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. You're good.
Way more than good.
All right. This rogue here. He's gonna take a shot at the wolf. $16.
Hits.
Okay. He pegs the wolf in the side as it's helping to flank for 6 damage. Oh no, sorry. Is that 6 or a 5?
It says 5 here.
Okay, sorry. I have dark mode on. Yeah, for 5 damage.
The wolf is unconscious.
3 more.
The wolf is conscious.
Getting a full use from his
Man.
paladin abilities. Probably a good choice that he's using the Holy Shock. He does suffer 1 damage from it. All right. This fighter will 5-foot step and flank you, and he will attempt to hit Arlil. So that's a +2, correct?
Yeah.
Despite having the advantage of flanking, he's not able to penetrate the heavy plate armor. Valdar, and remember, Valdar, you have 1 soul stone now from your chaos bolt that you cast last turn.
Which of these 2 fighters is looking weaker?
The one that's flanked by the wolf.
Yeah, he's in bad shape, really bad shape.
All right, I'll do another burning arc. Primary is the stronger one.
Okay, sure, and then it'll bounce to the other one.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so for the primary. Okay, and the other one. So that was 29 damage to the primary, correct? And 10
Yep.
to the other.
5 to the other since he made a save.
So as the fire smothers the first guy, you hear him screaming in agony before he falls silent, and you can hear his chainmail clump to the floor, followed soon by the other one as they both go down. All right, Hoozer's pet Zwei. Oh, you 5 foot step. That's a nice spell.
Alright, I'm gonna 5 foot step up to this mage guy.
Okay. And your wolf attempts to attack, but your best guess is the wounds that it suffered and the constant, death, not death, death, not death. Make up your mind. He's unable to get a hold of the mage. All right, this rogue again taking pot shots at you. Fortunately for you, shoots wide. All right, Poozer, your move.
Alright, so
and actually, hold on. Let me just interrupt you just real quick. So this, I didn't realize this other rogue was one that we didn't have initiative for. So during this combat, you see him hurry and knock on the door, and the door opens. He enters, and you hear yelling inside, and then you're able to hear that the metal bar slams shut. But there's a lot of commotion inside that you're not able to determine what's being said or anything, but things are happening.
Special knock?
It is as far as you guys were able to tell, it's just a regular knock. He does speak in real quickly, and what languages do you speak?
Dwarven and Common.
Okay, I mean, if you since you're the closest, you're welcome to try to do a linguistics roll to see if you get an idea.
Alright, I have to find it.
You're not able to place it, but it sounds like it might be maybe
it's better for me to tell what it's not.
Yeah. Well, you were gonna say you almost wondered if it was Orcish, but then your senses kind of get. You said no, you've heard Orc before, so yeah, you're not really able to tell. All right, and now it is your move.
Alright, yep, the one who's been shooting at me.
Yep, that same rogue.
Yep.
You're able to plug him in his side. Passes, piercing his leather armor for 4 damage. But he's still in relatively good shape. Once again, the gnome who's only able to see you. Again, he makes those same motions, and you see that same fiery phoenix come and it slams into you. Give me a dex save. All right, so you only take 2 damage from the flame this time.
Rounded is always half rounded down, so it'd be 1.
Well, then
unless it's +1 as well.
Yeah, he gets +1 on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried to set up and it's not. I haven't done it right, so I'll have to have you show me how to do it properly. It's about this time you see this orb disappear. This mage will do a 5 foot step back, and he'll you see a shield of ice surround him, and that is his move. Manla.
I will charge that mage, so I'm getting a +2 to this attack roll.
Okay.
Also burning my points to do extra damage.
Okay.
Although I don't have that written on my Sizz, so 1 second here. Assuming that hits, of course.
Yeah, you hit that.
19.
On the mage, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So 4 extra damage with rip.
All right, so 16 damage. That ice barrier shatters, and you're able to do what you think seems to be a significant amount, or relatively significant amount of damage. Okay, that brings us to Arlil. Welcome, Thuggin. Welcome as a first-time chatter. We're in the middle of a battle. This is D&D, technically Pathfinder, in Azeroth. And so we're in the midst of a battle. They're in Moonglow. No.
That just for one round? Okay.
Yeah,
I can do that. And still be in total defense. Okay.
All right, so you go full defensive mode, correct?
Yep.
All right, the rogue seeing you come up is gonna pull out his sword and attempt to swing at you. As is too often the case, though, he swings in vain, missing you completely. Valdar.
I'll throw a chaos bolt at this guy.
Okay. And are you empowering it with your soulstone or no?
Yeah, let's do that. We'll add a d4 there.
Yeah. So roll a d4. You. All right. So you guys see as this chaos bolt is being created, and it goes and slams into the mage, and shortly thereafter, almost like lightning, but it's like a purple lightning, also slamming into it. Valdar does suffer 1 point of damage from powering up with the soulstone. So we got a D here. 1 second. Let's roll that. Okay, so he does take half damage. So if I'm reading that right, it should be 6 damage. Is that correct? 10 is half to 5, then +1.
Depends on if you want to have the soul shard damage.
The soul shard. That damage is not savable, so to speak. So that's a guaranteed 1 point in this case.
Okay.
So that would be at 6 damage, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, Zwei, Poozer's pet.
Will 5-foot step and bite at the mage.
Okay. And again, the wolf, unfortunately, proving to be ineffective so far, unable to get his claws on the mage. All right, this rogue again just continue to take pot shots at you. 12 looks like he's gonna shoot long as he aimed a little bit too high. And Poozer, now your move.
I will not aim too high. I think I'm at 2 power points now, right? Because I used the first 3.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I'm not tracking your guys' PowerPoints, but that does sound about right. And you were shooting that same rogue, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Again, your superior archery skill is coming in play. I just stick him in the leg for looks like 5 damage.
And do 1 healing to the wolf.
Yep, and do 1 healing to the wolf. All right, the mage's turn here. Second. He's going to cast Ray of Enfeeblement at Poozer. So you have a Fortitude DC.
You do a ranged attack, touch attack first.
Oh,
touch attack.
okay.
So a D20 plus his dex
All right. Let me.
plus his BAB.
13. His BAB. 1 second. I think that misses.
Looks like that's going to hit. Her touch AC is 13, so.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Fortitude DC. Okay, so now I just roll 1d6 plus 1 per level, right? And then the effect gets halved. Is that correct?
+1 per 2
Yep.
levels.
Or plus 1 per 2 levels. Okay, so that goes to 5. So having that down to 3 or 2. Okay. And so that drops your strength by 2, if I understand that correctly.
Correct.
My strength or my hit points?
Your strength.
Your strength. It's an attribute attack. Okay. This gnome will 5-foot step backwards. And he also is going to he's going to try to do a Raven Fieldman on Arlil. Roll that.
That'll hit.
Okay. And so again, you also have a save of 15.
Oh, what was it again? Will or Fort?
Fortitude.
Oh.
All right. Let me roll my 6-sided dice. So that goes to 6. Halved is a 3. If I did that correctly. And that is against your strength. All right, Monla, your move.
All right, I'm going to move behind the mage. If he's got a dagger or a staff or some weapon in hand, he can make a free attack on me.
In this case, he does not.
And then I'm attacking to miss, unless his AC is 11.
Despite the advantage of being behind him, you almost freaking yourself out, expecting him to be able to attack back. He doesn't. It throws you off balance, and you miss. Arlil.
That's. Oh, you know what? Actually, I've got 2 points now. So. I can't remember how far this reaches. 20 feet. Yeah. I'll use taunt on this guy over here.
Okay. And he is not a boss, so he does not have the ability to resist it, or he's not an elite, I should say. Okay, so he is taunted. All right, now it's the rogue that's right in front of you. He will try to hit you with his long sword. Ineffectively, though. Valdar. Valdar, your move. Okay.
Gotcha. There's not a lot of exciting stuff to do here, but I think we're wrapping up, so. Do a acid splash on this guy.
Okay.
No, this one. What's wrong with this one?
He's been taunted.
Oh, okay.
So if he doesn't attack Arlil this turn, he'll suffer. All right.
For one. That's if I had.
Okay. So as you throw the acid in the air, it gets a little bit on his neck, and he's like, ah, as it burns away a point. All right, Zwei.
Aha, flanking.
Okay. Maybe
Have a buff, we'll just add it. 23.
so. Finally, despite the ineptitude from earlier, is able to clamp down on the mage for, looks like 6 damage, if I read that right.
Yep.
And then he's got to see if he gets tripped or not.
No, that 4 will not trip him.
Oh well, okay. I don't have to roll against it.
No, it's against their CMD, which is base 10. So.
Okay. And then the secondary damage, that I don't have to worry about that, right?
Yeah, the trip never does damage. Always ignore the damage roll.
Okay, I gotcha. All right, this rogue, seemingly noticing Arlil after being taunted, will shoot at him. But he tried to move too fast. He didn't steady his bow, and he shoots wide, almost hitting Valdar. But the arrow hits just at Valdar's feet. No damage. Boozer.
I'm still shooting at that rogue.
Okay. As you shoot at him, unfortunately, you're not able to do the trifecta with 3 complete hits in a row, and he dodged as he was taking damage from that acid. It helped him kind of dodge out of the way. All right, this fire mage is up again, and he once again. Creating that fiery phoenix.
Is there any way for me to utilize that fire as it hits me to possibly catch this house on fire? I mean, it is pretty old.
I mean, if he were to hit it, but unfortunately he's hitting you. So he.
And I'm not actually catching on fire. I'm just.
No. Go ahead and give me a reflex save, or suffer 4 damage. You just make it, so you only take 2 damage. This other mage, he's going to do a 5-foot step, and he will channel again. Put his hands almost as if they're in a sphere, and he will cause another orb of frost to appear. Second. And Molly, you take 5 frost damage, and your movement is reduced to half its normal movement. And Molly, is now your turn.
I will 10-foot hop over there and cut him to pieces. Ignore the rip damage this time. I'm not using it currently, so.
Okay. All right. So as you leap across, you slice him using the momentum of the leap, and you are able to dissect a limb or two in one swoop. This also causes the orb to dissipate and the mage is no more. All right, Arlil.
Let's 5 foot there, I guess.
Okay, so you're able to flank.
Is Mandalus? Are you still badly hurt, or
Yeah.
go ahead and use this on you then?
Looks like he's just shy of half.
5 healing.
Okay, and then you take 1 damage from using your holy shock.
Yep.
And are you staying in defensive mode, I assume?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I should put that.
All right. So the rogue that you're now he's gonna 5 foot step with you, and he will attempt to hit you with a mace. And he makes a very large bang off your shoulder to no effect. All right, Valdar, your move.
All right. Let's. Do another chaos bolt there.
Okay. On the guy who had been taunted, correct?
Yep.
Okay. All right, let me flex save. All right, so he is able to avoid part of the damage. So it looks like he takes 4, correct?
Yep.
Okay. But it slams into him. He is no longer taunted. Zwei's move.
Does that break the taunt?
Let's see.
No, the taunt only lasts for 1 turn. So I just hadn't removed it. So.
So that's 2 for flanking.
Okay, so that's going to give him an attack of opportunity then, right?
Actually, I skirted around, so I didn't step next to him until I attacked.
Okay. Just in the movement, it looked like.
Yeah, I clicked wrong.
Okay, and that's fine. That's fine. You're good. So +2. Unfortunately, you're unable to. The wolf continues to struggle a little bit. And this rogue, who's no longer taunted, is going to return to the Poozer. $15? Is that a miss?
That's a miss. It would hit my wolf, but it doesn't hit me.
Okay. Should attack the wolf. And then he's going to take a few steps back here. All right.
Well, I can still reach him.
Yeah. And Poozer, your move.
I do have 3 points now, so I'll use them to heal the wolf again.
Okay. Using your power points from your hunter ability.
Correct. I mean, assuming I did damage, which I am assuming I did.
Oh yeah. You're able to get another solid strike. It'll let me click on him. Here we go. He's still up, but he's looking like he's on death's door. All right. This last mage here. He's gonna again. He claps his hands together, and then a fiery blast comes in and hits you, Poozer. Get the damage. And this is not one that you're able to save from. And you suffer 4 fiery damage. And then he will also take a few steps back. All right, Monla, your move.
That puts me down to 15 hit points. Hit points
I
on that.
will circle around and using Rip on this guy as well.
Okay.
If I can hit. So 16 damage.
All right, you're able to aided by your Rip ability, your druidic ability, you're able to do a significant amount of damage. Unfortunately, that was the first damage he had taken, but he's definitely feeling it for sure. Arlil, your move.
I'm gonna keep my choices on this. Actually, before I do that, would Poozer be considered within 10 feet of me up on the roof there?
No,
Or no?
no.
Okay.
The height is too much.
That's fine. Just want to make sure. Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. All right. This rogue, realizing it appears to be senseless to try to attack the paladin who's still too well armored. He's gonna try to use his sword against the Y. And is able to do a significant amount of damage, 10 points of slashing damage to the wolf.
Wolf's unconscious.
Goodness. Wolf gets 4 healing.
And you take another
The
point of
wolf is
damage.
conscious.
He's down, he's up, he's down, he's up. That's awesome. All right, Valdar, your move.
Okay. I'm actually just gonna move over there.
Okay.
Okay. That's
So double move essentially.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So why? Not really comprehending what's happening, but is up again.
I was just talking to my daughter. Just
Okay.
a second.
All right, you're good.
Sorry.
No worries.
Twice turn?
Yeah, the wolf's turn. Okay, flanking. Doing 2 points of damage. Able to scrape the rogue just slightly. Grip and CMD. Do I roll the CMD or if
No, it's
Okay.
like AC for against being
Okay.
tripped or disarmed or
yeah?
rushed or-
All right. Yeah. The wolf is unable to trip the rogue. All right. This rogue again, still after Poozer with his bow. Looks like he misses. And will continue to try to escape with what's left of his life. Boozer, your move.
I think I can still shoot that far, right?
Yeah, essentially. I mean, since we're in combat, treat every square as 5 feet. since we're no longer in the exploration portion.
Well, maybe I can't shoot that far.
Yeah, your arrow is close, but due to the rogue's movement, you're unable to judge it properly, and it misses. And this mage, he will once again cause the flame of that looks like a phoenix. Although this time, seeing that Valdar is closer, within range, he's going to slam you with it for 5 damage. But you do get a reflex roll to save on that. Need to be at a 15, which you do. So take half of 5.
Okay.
All right, Mon, let's move. Oh, and he also runs as well.
All right, I will try and finish off this rogue.
Okay. And you quickly slice deep into his stomach, almost disaboweling him, causing him to go down.
And I will move as well then.
Okay. And that'll bring us
I
to
will activate current flow to increase my speed by a bit too.
okay. Sounds good. Arlil.
Double move.
Double move. Okay. Valdar. What's that?
I was gonna say after they run for a while, they just turn around and come back, right?
Up some hit points.
It all depends.
Let's chaos bolt the mage.
Okay. All right. Reflex save here.
Add the thing onto it too.
Oh, okay. So again, you're empowering with the soul shard. You will suffer 1 damage. He fails the save, so he takes 10 damage, and it almost knocks him off his feet. But he's able to keep his feet. Okay, Zwei.
Wolves can run very, very fast.
If you do a charge attack, you could reach one of them. You'd have to go after the rogue at the top, otherwise there's people in the way that.
And then
Okay.
I could still get my bite off.
Yep. With a +2 to hit because of the charge.
With a +2 to hit because of the charge.
And as Zwei comes sprinting and leaping, jumps on the rogue and rips out a portion of the back of his neck, forcing him to expire. All right, Poozer, your move.
Okay, so it's this mage that's left.
Correct.
That's a crit.
And as the arrow gets near, the mage throws up his hands, and a wall of flames surrounds him. But the arrow still pierces this flaming shield, if you will, and once the fire disappears, you see that the gnome is clearly no longer. And with that, we will end there for tonight.